Good evening. I think we're live. And so I know that Mary Kate is not going to be in attendance tonight. And I also know that Jamie will not be joining us tonight. But we can go ahead and get started. Maybe I will try to share my screen with the agenda. I don't know if that would be helpful. So can you guys all see the agenda?
Yes.
Great. So the very first item of business that we have on our agenda tonight is approval of the March 7th, 2023 meeting minutes. I don't know if you all had a chance to look those over. If you did, could somebody maybe make a motion and a second?
I'll move to approve. This is Adam.
And this is Dale. I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Then the next item on our agenda is discussing and planning for the community meetings, forums, small group conversations. That's pretty open, so you can take that as far as you would like. I'm learning.
My recollection of our prior discussion that we just reviewed and approved was really that tonight was more about just trying to set some dates down firmly, and we wanted to do that in accordance with sunshine laws and all that sort of stuff.
Correct.
I don't want to speak for everybody on the screen, but I think we're down a few folks. I certainly am not looking to squash anybody's contributions, but I recall this tonight being more of a stopgap, just to get some dates firm.
Correct.
I did get a list from Jamie Grayson of dates that he would not be available. And so if you guys just want to start talking about what you think might works, or I can list them all for you, because there's kind of quite a few in May. And then from June 1st through 11th, he looks pretty open after the 18th of May. And then there's a few dates in the first half of the month of May.
Would the 18th work for him, Sheila?
The 18th, it will not. And then after that, he is open until June 1st.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
starting May 19th forward, his schedule appears that he would be open.
That whole week of the 22nd is wide open for me.
Do you know where we're going to have these meetings, or try to have?
We talked a little bit about it last time, but we didn't. I think part of what we were, I think we didn't want to get too far down the planning rabbit hole if that's not what we had prior, like advertised.
Sure.
The week of the 22nd, I'm free also.
Mm-hmm. I have something that Monday night, but the rest of the week is good for me too.
Okay.
I'm free that week also.
Is anyone not free? The 23rd, the 24th, or the 25th?
No, totally fine.
Do you guys have any thoughts about people participating in, and I can't see everybody on my screen since I am sharing, and I don't know how that affects you guys. So if it would be better, for you guys, I could stop screen sharing just let me know that.
That's fine.
It's fine that I am screen sharing, or would you,
No, I don't have a need for you to screen share.
oh, you
I'm
don't
good.
have a need. Okay,
I'm fine too.
all right, I'm gonna stop sharing then. Maybe that will make it so I can see more of you. And so basically, just not sure if, I know a lot of times we have thoughts that like Wednesday maybe is a church night, and so you won't have a lot of participation in a meeting on Wednesday nights. But I don't know if that's old school, and but that's not the case now. So I'm not sure if you're choosing for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night, which of those might be better to get more participation.
So real quick, I mean, the only thing I would contribute as far as that week goes is it is the last week of school. And often there are things in the evening that schools are having. Now, right now, when I look on the school calendar, I don't see a lot in the evening, but that doesn't mean that school secretaries haven't gotten those into the calendar or whatever. So I don't have any, right now it looks free, but I'm a little suspicious about how accurate that is. So
Mhm. I do know graduation will have already been passed.
right.
I think families with seniors have a lot of events going up to that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would say that week probably is good. I mean, it certainly, I think, is better than any week prior to that. There's a lot going on. So
Mhm. So anyone wanna, or should we try to figure out if locations are free? So we could do either like kind of pick the 23rd or the 25th and then see if locations are free, or what do you guys think?
I'd pick a date and find a location that's going to work. That's my recommendation.
Okay.
And I'll say this, like I did, like adding on to our conversation last week. Look, I mean, if we can have an event and 100 people show up, God, I mean, that's a win. Like in my experience, especially these days, it's hard to get people to come to events like this, and maybe his experience is different. I mean, he's got a lot of experience doing these types of things, but man, I mean, I'm not sure that, I mean, I would say let's plan on 50 people in my experience, but again, I don't know, yeah.
And it,
Adam, what's your thought on that?
I think we're doing a new thing, and maybe we'd be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I agree. It's hard to forecast. I just think all we can do is provide opportunities, right?
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't, like, for instance, I wouldn't not book if the firehouse is the most convenient space to have an event. I wouldn't not book the firehouse because we think it's too small. Like I mean, I think. But I'm saying maybe we do. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying I wouldn't let our schedule, our public engagement schedule, be dictated by the facilities. I think we can find a facility that will work. We can. To me, that's that's not a big challenge. I think if we can identify a date that's going to work for people, then we can find a place to have it.
okay.
What about if we choose May the 25th then?
Thursday, May 25th. Is that good with everybody?
I'm just throwing
Yes,
that out.
with me. May 25th.
Yes.
Okay. All right, look at that. We picked a date. What other things do you guys want to talk about that has like location? Like where would you, who would like to try to secure a location? I'm guessing we're gonna try to do free. I think that would be a
How, uh, how many people can fit into City Hall? Like, is there a reason why we're not just doing it at City Hall?
no reason at all. That would
Okay.
be fine.
Um,
Definitely. It just depends. I don't know that I quite understood from Jamie what the format. It seemed like at first it wouldn't be small groups. It would be more of a information type forum, like
mhm.
where he was kind of explaining like what future processes would be, but possibly I misunderstood that.
No, I think you're accurate. That's what I understood too.
Mhm.
Ryan, Meredith Cole, she just sent me an email that said that she's trying to join. I don't know if you see her
Currently, we have no one in the waiting room.
or. Okay. It might be that she is trying to do the YouTube channel. So let me see. Have to multitask when I'm doing electronic. Let's see.
Well, what about if we start with City Hall, especially with the introductions and things like that, and then just kind of branch out from there? I don't know.
Will be good. People will be comfortable to go there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Terry was suggesting, why don't we have it at City Hall? Since it's an initial it sounds like it's a more of a providing information type meeting than and less of an engagement meeting. I mean,
Sure.
if I'm
That's-
interpreting what you're saying correctly.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, I'm open to wherever. I'm just trying to throw something out there.
Mhm.
I think May 25th would work for that.
But then, Eduardo, were you saying people are or are not comfortable?
No,
going there?
I think they will be more comfortable to go, to the meeting at City Hall, and then as she said, from there we can decide another place. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea.
I think part of what we're bumping up against is we all are excited to do something. The something that the namesake of this thing is not what we're doing. In other words, we're not doing the Justice Department's school spirit program, but that's what we're calling it, right? After that, no pun intended, in the spirit of the thing that was done, but we don't have a concept of what the content will be. So I'm cool getting a date going, but I think we need to get Jane, and I'm cool getting a date and location going, but the content will drive what it should be. If we need to break out in little tables or groups, City Hall is not a good spot to have it, but it's accessible, it's public, it's within the, I think it states that this is a citywide initiative. I think that's great. I'm just trying to give voice to, we're all kind of, it's like the parable of the folks that can't see around the elephant. Like we're just kind of, so I think it'll help when we further define. And I think really that's going to come from Jamie, and I'm not upset at anybody that couldn't be here tonight. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to give voice to, that's a huge piece of the puzzle that we're not really able to digest right at this very moment. I'm not mad about it, but like, it's hard to, I think that's the most important thing we need to, like, if we have a logo and a website but not the content, we haven't made any progress. That's the most important thing we need to do moving forward.
Yeah. So what I heard at the last meeting from Jamie was that the initial meeting was going to be more of an information session, and maybe I dreamed it or or didn't hear right, but that this very initial meeting was kind of to introduce the community and invite them to continue on the journey. So it was more of a, and I feel like we were kind of talking about like a theater or something like that. So you need, I felt like Jamie was saying that it would be a, like more of a like theater type forum than the conversations, but maybe I didn't understand that correctly. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback on that. If you remember him saying anything like that. Oh, Meredith, you are muted.
I don't recall him saying anything
Okay.
like that.
I could be crazy and have dreamed it. So especially if none of you remember that.
Well, I mean, I have a recollection of, I mean, was he referring to presenting the data from the survey?
I feel like he was planning on kind of introducing like, here's what we found. And because there was a difference, like first we were talking about the meeting, scheduling the next meeting where he was going to go over those results. But then as the conversation unfolded and we started talking about the community meeting, it seemed like it was, he was also going to go over that data with them. That was the impression I got, and I could be wrong. I could have misinterpreted it.
I remember
Well,
it being kind of introductory also.
I remember the introductory part too, because he was going to introduce the committee, what we were doing, and that it kind of just introduced where we're headed from there. At least that was my understanding.
I mean, it sounds like the next step is to clarify with him.
How about if I do that
Yeah.
in the interim? And if after I clarify that with him, then if that understanding is correct, then I will make sure that we have City Hall available. If it is not correct and there are other space needs, do you guys feel comfortable with allowing me to work on securing a place? And our next meeting where we're going to go over the survey data is going to be on Thursday, April 27th. And so at that meeting, we could announce where it's going to be. I feel like that's plenty of time to get information out to the community if our date's going to be May 25th.
I am fine with that myself.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep, same.
Sounds good.
Okay. And can you guys think of any other things that you want to make a decision about as far as do you want to talk about future meetings that will come after May 25th? I did leave it very wide open for you. Doesn't seem like you're as talkative tonight though. Maybe I extinguished your fire.
No, I remember last week, because of doing things in the proper order, we wanted to have a public forum where we set the date for our first gathering. Right. And so I thought, and that's why we're Zooming, we're not at City Hall. So I think we're right in step with what we talked about. I think this April 27th meeting is crucial. Like, we need to all walk out of, and I'm sorry to be like talking a lot. I think we got to walk out of there with our elevator speech of what is this we're doing?
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So when me and my friend Terry talk to our buds, hey, come to this, we're gonna.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if we don't walk out of there with that, we are hosed.
And if we don't encourage that, how do we expect others to come?
Right.
It's our job.
Yeah. A positive way to put that is I'm excited to walk out of there with a unified pitch. That's a more positive way to put it. Let me do that.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good idea.
So Sheila, what do we need to shape the agenda to where that's appropriate? I mean, I guess if we had it, let's see.
I'm gonna put number 2 on there again for like discuss and plan for community meetings, forums, small group conversations. That will be on the agenda as well as review the survey data. And then I don't know, I got kind of broad where set next meeting date, time, and agenda topic with an S in parentheses, so you can do as many topics as you want for the next one. So the next one, I guess right now, maybe we've kind of moved on to number 3 because we're talking about what agenda topics that we're gonna set. And so we'll definitely have discussing and planning for the community meetings. And then also set next meeting date, time, and agenda topics again. And I added committee member comments. So when we get all done with that business, we'll let you each talk.
Gave us a lot of latitude. Thank you.
You know, it's all a growing experience for both of us. So, okay. So just to go back to item number 2, discuss and plan for community meetings, forums, small group conversations. We're going to plan for a date of May 25th. I will clarify space needs with Jamie and then make sure that we have an appropriate space for that I will bring back to you guys on April 27th.
Right.
I also might send you all out an email telling you what I found. The rule is that I can send you out information, but you guys can't discuss it or make a decision, like a final decision. So if you wanted to reply and you were like, Sheila, try here or whatever, only reply to me, please. Don't reply all, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
And then, so I feel like we have 2. Anything else about community meetings, forums, and small group conversations? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Setting the next meeting date, time, and agenda packets. We also talked about that. So our next meeting will be April 27th. We'll be going over the survey results. We will also be talking about future community meetings, forums, small group conversations. And the agenda will look very much like it does tonight. And if anybody wants to add anything besides survey results, let me know. Okay. And then committee member comments. You guys just want to take turns? Want me to call on you on the order you are on my screen? Eduardo, do you have anything? Okay. Dale, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Meredith?
No, I just want to say I appreciate all your efforts.
You're welcome. Adam?
I don't. Somebody write it down.
Okay. Terry?
I am good. I am
Okay.
good.
Okay. Ray?
No comment.
Okay. Ryan, you're sitting there so quietly and patiently. Any comments?
I have no comments.
Okay, great. Then I would take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. A second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Then we are adjourned. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Sheila.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
good week,
Thanks, Sheila.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.